Hi guys, so in this video we will discuss about the non-resident alien tax aspects. Uh, the motivation for this video is actually we all know that most of us who are non-resident aliens or who are non-resident aliens at some point face anxious moment during tax filing time, especially this time of the year. For tax filing of non-resident aliens, we first have to determine if you are non-resident at all. The best place to decide about your residency is publication 519. This is available from the IRS website. So once you determine and confirm that you are a non-resident alien for tax purpose for this tax year, we have to determine what is the filing method. Well, the obvious method which comes to mind is engage a tax consultant. If your tax matter is really complex, it may be a good idea to engage tax consultant, a professional consultant. If you ever engage a tax consultant, make sure that the tax consultant actually knows the non-resident aspects, the non-resident alien aspects. And the second method is filing yourself, which is my preferred method. Filing yourself is always good because you get to know about your tax. Even if you engage a consultant, it's always very good idea to know about tax in detail. So that you can keep yourself more resourceful. Some of non-resident aliens go for online filing, but I would like to caution that if you ever decide to do online filing, make sure that that services actually is addressing the non-resident alien form. So the resources required for filing non-resident alien taxes. The first one will be obviously the instruction file for Form 1040NR or Form 1040NREZ. So you have to file one of these forms. 1040NREZ is a concised version of 1040NR. If you are eligible for 1040NREZ, you should file 1040NREZ because it is much more simpler. The instruction files provide a detailed guideline how to fill in the form. The other resource is publication 519, which details the US tax guides for aliens. So this includes the residents and non-residents. And secondary resources which may be helpful to you or which may be applicable to you, that is publication 901. This contains information on US tax treaties with other countries, maybe your country. And for a section of us, publication 597 may be helpful because it contains information related to US and Canada tax treaty. So a non-resident alien must submit Form 8843, Form 1040NR or Form 1040NREZ, and Form 843 if there is a wrong social security withholding or there are some IRS error. This is Form 8843 that you see here. And who has to file 8843? There are two conditions. If you meet them, you have to file 8843, irrespective of whether you had any income or you did not have any income. First is if you were in USA during that tax year, and second is you are considered non-resident alien for that tax year. If your income in US was only due to bank interests, then you just have to fill in the 8843. Many international students, scholars who are on F1, M1, J1, Q, F2, J2, L2 visas qualify for these criteria. One thing is that if you're filing 1040NR or 1040NREZ, you still have to file Form 8843 with the other form. So what you see on screen is Form 1040NR, and the 1040NREZ is a simplified version of Form 1040NR. To determine whether you are eligible to file 1040NREZ form, you can download the instruction forms which very clearly state the 1040NREZ instruction form contains full details which will help you in filing the form. The publication 519 contains all the details which will be very helpful for you in filing your own tax. Okay, so you will receive a W2 form which should look something like this. Now for item 3, where we have to fill in the wages, salaries, tips, etc. So this can be obtained from form W2. So in form W2, this is actually the item 1. There are two things that I would like to highlight here. That is the itemized deduction, the item 11, and the item 13, that is the exemption. Okay, so the item 11, where it is required to know the itemized deduction, the instruction form says that enter the total state and local income tax that you paid or it was withheld from your salary. So that information is available in your W2 form. So that will be the item 17 of the W2 form. So we put in that information here. That will be approximately say 3000. So the other aspect is the item 13, that is the exemption. From the instruction form, you will be able to find out the exemption that you are actually eligible for. So this is for year 2012, it is 3800. It keeps changing every year to accommodate for inflation. So we will fill in this information. The item 4, 5, 6. So this information, if it is applicable to you, you may fill in. For this illustration, we will take them as 0. So now the line 7, where we need to file in, where we need to add 345. In that case, in this case, it is 44,000. So the item 8, 9, and various things are not applicable for this individual, so we will just leave them as zeros. Now we can calculate the item 10 as specified here. In this case, it is still the 44,000. We have determined the itemized deduction from the instruction form, and we can get the item 12, that happens to be in this case 41,000, and then the exemption amount for year 2012 was 3800. So with the available information, we can calculate the taxable income. Once we have the taxable income, we can find the tax that is available in instruction. So let's go ahead and look at it. In this document, at the end, you will have a table where you will be able to determine your tax. So since we are filing NREZ form, we will look at this, and we have to find tax for 37,200. So from the table, we find the tax for 37,200 is 5336. So we come and fill in that information here. So the item 17 can be calculated as instructed, which turns out to be 5336 in this case. The item 18A is the federal income tax withheld from your form W2. So this information can be obtained from your W2 form. This is the item 2 of your W2 form. So in this example, we will take it as 8,500. If you have form 1042S, you can fill in accordingly. Total amount, that is the sum of 18A through 20, which in this case actually turns out to be 8,500. The overpaid amount can be calculated as 3,164. So the amount of line 22 you would like to be refunded, in this case it is 3164. Rest of the form is simple. You will find no difficulty in filling this form. In addition to federal tax, you may be required to file the state tax. State tax laws and rules differ from state to state. So based upon which state you have worked, you are required to file the state tax. And if you have worked in more than one state during that tax year, you may be required to file a separate tax return with each of these states. Thank you guys. This is what I wanted to share with you regarding the non-resident alien tax aspects. I hope that it was helpful to you in some way, and feel free to comment on this video, give suggestions, or maybe add some tips so that others are benefiting from it. Thank you.